Hi there, this is Lee Thurburn, and you're on Livestream Lee yet again. Glad you're back. I hope you have a good time today as we continue building, and we're almost finished. We may even finish today, getting pretty close, building the multi-vendor marketplace app. So I'm going to just go ahead and jump right in after I tell you that you should go to apricotrocket.com. I'm going to put up a little banner thing here. Apricot Rocket is our primary software system. We use it as cloud storage for the app. It provides backup as well as a variety of additional functionality to the apps that we offer to people. So apricotrocket.com is a great place for you to go to get a free account, which has a tremendous suite of digital marketing tools. It's a CRM, email marketing, text message marketing, lead generation. It's got an integrated shopping cart. One of the great things about it is you can actually collect very rich, detailed data about your customers. Things, if you can get them to tell you, we have the ability for you to collect things like, what their education is like, where they go to school, how many kids do they have, what their income, just incredible, rich, detailed information. And we even offer a loyalty and rewards program component to the shopping cart so that you can give them an incentive to provide you with that demographic, psychographic, and sociographic information. So it's an advanced data management tool with integrated e-commerce as well as digital marketing. That's just an example of kind of what the Apricot Rocket system is designed to do. And you'll find it to be both very powerful and very user-friendly, very easy to use. apricotrocket.com. Now I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, and we're going to go into the app that we have been developing. So let me go ahead and pull this up on screen, just make sure that in fact it is being shared. Yes, the full thing is now on screen. So let me go over here. So where we were yesterday when I ran out of time, let me go ahead and zoom out a little bit here. We're in the app. Where we were yesterday when I ran out of time was we were going through the process of doing a checkout, and we were having trouble getting the shopping cart, the checkout cart, to actually show the full, I'll say the full price. And so I want to show you what we did. So I'm going to go ahead and zoom in. And so here's where the problem was. We had the cost, the total before sales tax. We had the sales tax. We had the subtotal. Actually, we were not calculating a subtotal, but we were calculating the shipping option rate. And then we were trying to add everything up, and we were having a problem. So to solve this, what I did was I went into the database. So I'm going to go ahead and open the database. And we're talking about orders. So I went into the orders section, and I added several new fields so that I could store data and then do a summary calculation after I'd gone through and done all the initial calculations. So we added a couple of data fields. Now we already had a total paid for the orders. So we already had this field right here. And we already had an order shipping option rate, ship op rate field. We added a sales tax field and a subtotal field. And now what we do is we go in and we actually calculate each of those. We fill those fields with the correct amount at the point in time that we select our shipping option. Okay, so when you click on the shipping option link, this red link, it would take you to the page where the shipping option is selected. So in the background, when you click the update order, the system does a number of calculations. So there's sort of two steps to the calculations. I'm going to open the submit button, and you're going to see several different operations. You're going to see an update order, another update order, and a link checkout. So this links you back to the checkout page that you just came from. So the original initial update order used to be the only one that we had. So if we go in there and look, it just simply has done, because you're actually doing whatever the field operations are. We added another update order. In this update order, we go in and we actually calculate a total for the total paid field. The total paid field is orders total paid, is the order's subtotal plus the order's sales tax plus the order shipping option rate amount. Okay, so these all are created and stored up here. So there's a order subtotal, an order sales tax, and an order shipping option rate. Now, you have to go through a sequential process to be able to get the calculation done. So what happens is initially the first update order, the default update order operation occurs. Now you don't see any details here because that is contained in the fields. So if we open the fields, here's what happens. When you select the order option, this is the visible field. So over here on the right, you see select order option or select shipping option. Sorry, I said order. And then when you click the update, that chooses the shipping option. But we're going to automatically want to calculate a couple of things. So we're going to grab the logged in user and make that the user associated with the order. We're going to grab the current vendor and make the current vendor, current order vendor, the vendor associated with this order. And then we're going to do a couple of calculations. We're going to calculate our subtotal. So we go to subtotal, and if I click here, you can see that we're inserting the current order items, order item price, sum. Okay, so think about this. We're looking at the order items, the sum of the total of the prices of the order items for the items that are in the current order. It kind of reading it backwards sort of helps you to know exactly what you're doing. Okay, so excuse me just a second. So that's what's going on the order items or the subtotal. Okay, under the sales tax, what we're doing is we're calculating the sum of the basically the subtotal, the sum of the order items price. So if I click on that, it's the sum of the order items price for the order items or the individual order item prices for the order items that are in the current order. Okay, so that's what that one is. This one is we're taking the sales tax rate for the state of the state that the logged in user has associated with their account. So we multiply those two things together, and that comes up with the sales tax amount. And then we're inserting the just now selected shipping option rate. So it's the current order shipping option ship op rate. So what we're doing is we're filling these fields with the appropriate data. But because we've just put the data in the fields, we can't actually grab the data. We're still putting the data into the fields. Okay, so as of looking at this, when this operation is completed, and by the way, again, that operation is the first update order. So during the first update order, we're actually going to calculate all of the components of the total price. And here on the update order, we're going to grab, again, we're going to grab the subtotal, the sales tax, and the shipping option rate, and we're going to add them up and put them into the order total paid field. When we do all of that, the next thing that we do is we link back and move back to the checkout page. So when we come back down here to the checkout page, we here can look at the total order items with sales tax and shipping. And if I click on this, I'm actually adding the order item total paid. So that's the order item total paid plus the shipping option ship op rate, current order shipping option ship op rate. So why did I add this again? Well, I'm not quite sure, honestly, why I had to do that, but I had to do that to get the dollar amount to show up correctly before you check out. So if I go into preview, and I'm going to go ahead and click on preview here, and we're going to log back in as new customer. That's the account that we were using to make purchases. So here we go. We're going to log in, and we're going to log in as new customer. And so we're going to click login. Now, if I go into the search product, which is what we do to find the products, we're going to go ahead, and this time we're going to go ahead and buy a Range Rover instead of a Porsche. So I'm going to click on Range Rover. It doesn't really matter at this point because I'm just going to look at detail, and I'm going, oh, okay, great. I want to go ahead and start making a purchase. So I click here. Now I'm going to add the Range Rover to the cart. You'll see we have one item in the cart, and down here it says check out one item. So I'm going to go ahead and click, and now I've got the Range Rover. Okay, so I've got the total and the sales tax. Now, previously I didn't calculate a subtotal, but I've begun doing that now. So if I go ahead and click select shipping option, we'll go ahead and check the regional delivery, which will add $150 to the shipping option, and it'll take us back. And there's the $150. And you can see that the subtotal plus the 150 is correct at 105,693.75. So at this point now, I can go ahead and click pay and place the order. And this is going to take me to the success screen. And then I'm going to click done, and that'll take me to my orders history page. And you can see that yesterday I was trying to buy something, and I have a pending order, but here I've got the actual order I just placed. So if I click on it, it'll bring me over here, and I'll see everything shows correctly. Now, there's still some information about my customer name. I don't have all of the data, address and phone number and stuff like that inserted here, so it's not showing all of that. But all of the order information is here. If I click the back button, now if we go to this pending orders page, you're going to see we don't have, this is actually a clone of the checkout page. So this is not exactly the same as the checkout page. So what we're going to do is we're going to modify this page so that it looks like the checkout page. So I'm going to go ahead and close that. I'm going to zoom out. And come on, zoom in. And I'm actually going to change this. You'll see that it says checkout up here. But what I want to do is I want to change the little app bar and take this. I was playing around with this, making this something else. So come on, checkout. There we go. We're going to save that. Now we're going to scroll up here to the past order details. Here we go. Pending orders. Where's my order? Here it is. This is my past order. This is the one I want to change, right? So now I'm going to come in here. I'm just going to go ahead and change this little header, change the title to pay for your pending order. All right, pay for your pending order. Now we're going to come down here, and you're going to see what I did. I'm actually going to be able to show you. Let me zoom out, zoom back in. Here we go. Now I'm going to show you exactly what I did to the other screen. So I'm going to hold the shift key down, and I'm going to click, and I'm going to click, and I'm going to click, 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 click. So all of these items are bonded together, and I can just move them all at once. So what I want to do is I want to make a little extra room for a different thing here. So I'm going to take my sales tax amount and my sum, and I'm going to copy. I'm going to Control C, Control V. Now I'm going to move them down, And this is going to be my subtotal. All right. So now I'm going to click off. I'm going to grab this. I'm going to pull this little gray box down. And I'm going to highlight the sales tax amount. I'm just going to change it to say subtotal. And I'm going to make that text bold. So we're going to make it bold. And then I'm going to click over here and we're going to change this. Okay, so custom formula. We want to change this. Okay, so I'm going to just go ahead and delete, get rid of that. Now, what I want to do is I want to grab the current order, order items, order item price sum, and I'm going to just do the math here, plus the current order, plus the current order, order items, total sum price, and then we're going to multiply it times the logged in user state sales tax rate. Okay, so that's going to give us the sum of the total before sales tax plus the sales tax. So this will give us our subtotal that we're looking for. All right, now we've already selected a shipping rate. So that's already done. That's been selected here. So now what we're going to do is we're going to come into the total with sales tax and shipping rate, and we're going to go do a custom formula. And I'm just going to get rid of everything here. I tried to simplify it the way I did it previously. So I'm going to go ahead and get the current order subtotal plus the current order sales tax plus the current order shipping option rate. And let's see if all of that adds up correctly when we review the pending order. Okay, so we're going to go back now into preview, and we're going to log back in as our new customer in the new customer account. All right. And now we're logging in, and we're going to go to the profile, and we're going to go to orders. And here's our pending order. And so we're going to click on our pending order, and looky there. Now we've got we've got our pending order showing, but look, it doesn't include the extra 150. Okay, so we're now going to have to go ahead and edit or modify that last little step. So we're going to click here, and we're already there. So I'm going to go to custom. I'm going to delete the current order. Oh, now we're going to go plus. So here's what we did previously. We went to the current order ship option rate. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to, instead of adding the shipping option rate, which should be saved in the current order, I'm going to come down to current order shipping options, ship op rate. Should be the same number. And so now we're going to save it. Now we're going to log back in and go look and see what the number looks like. Okay, now we're logging in. We're going to go ahead and go to my profile, and we're going to go to orders. And now we're going to click here. And there we go. Now we have the correct dollar amount. I am not sure why the Adala database doesn't allow you to call that data up. Now, it could be that this order was created before I modified the way we stored data. Or it could be that this order, that there's just a bug. I would have to go through about 3 or 4 more loops and test different things. And honestly, I'm just not quite sure. But, you know, the point of this particular demonstration exercise is to show you that if you keep kind of fiddling with the data fields, you'll eventually get the right number. And so this is, in fact, the right number. So at this point, I can now come down here and go ahead and pay for this because I've given people the option to pay. Now we click done, And now we have two orders. We have an order for Cars R Us and another order for Cars R Us. And now both of these orders are from the same vendor. Okay, so if we want to actually play with this a little bit more, we can go back to the home screen and let's go buy something from a for sure different vendor. So let's go buy some chocolate, a chocolate pizza. So we're going to go ahead and start an order. Now, in this case, there's only one thing. So we're going to order a pizza pie. We've added it to the cart. We're going to check out. We're going to choose a shipping option. And here's our shipping option, local. So we're going to choose local. And it's $4.99, so $23.76, $4.99, $28.75. That looks correct. We're going to go ahead and place the order. And now we'll go look at our order history, and we've got all three orders here. Now let's go look at, from a vendor perspective, the order history and see what we have in the way of vendor order history information. To do that, we have to log out, and then we have to log back in as a vendor. So I'm going to log in as Carl Co. because actually, nope, I think I'm going to log in as, I'm going to log in as, let's try Lee Thurman, Lee at Apricot Rocket. I think that's one of the vendors. I could have looked into the database, but then I've got to go, close this screen and go look in the database. So we're going to log in as Lee at apricotrocket.com. And it looks like maybe I don't have that vendor in here. So I'm going to go to Lee at lee.com and see if we have, yep, now we can log in. So now we're going to see a vendor profile. So I'm going to go into the vendor profile. And as a vendor, I can look at my orders. So I'm going to go click on look at orders. And here we go. I've got an order. Now this is an older order from somebody named Tommy Thomas. So I have my order history, and this order is, you know what, my vendor order history doesn't have the same sort of math connected up down here in the bottom. So I'm going to need to go edit that to get the vendor order history to work correctly. What I'm going to do is I'm going to log out. I'm going to log in as Carl Co. So I'm going to log in as Carl Co. Let's see here. I think I have Carl set up. So we'll log in and look at Carl's vendor profile, look at Carl Co. and look at orders. Here we go. Carl's the one that sells the chocolate. So here's, so we don't have any orders pending, but we do have new customer placed an order. So if I click here, yeah, the new customer information has all of the information. The old ones did not have all of the information in there. So, so this apparently now shows correct. So let's go ahead and log out, and let's just go check what my other vendor was, because I want to go in and look at, so I'm going to go to vendor, and we've got yellow truck. Let's see here. I've got 2 shipping options, 5 products, vendor products, 5 products, 2 products, 2 products, 1 product. I'm going to go with, who's this one? Cars R Us. Okay, so who? Oh, New Vin. That's who that was. That was New Vin. I forgot who our vendors were. So let's try New Vin. So we're logging in as New Vin. Now we're going to go click on our vendor profile. We're going to go to Cars R Us. And here we go. We've got a Range Rover and a Porsche. Now let's go look at our orders. And here we go. We've got 2 different orders. So if I click on the Porsche order, this has got the Porsche order details. And if I go backwards and I click on the Um, the Range Rover, it's got the Range Rover details. So now we've got the history that we're looking for. So we've got all, basically we're finished. Really, we're finished with this app. So I'm going to start a new project next week. So I have just enough time to show you how the actual Stripe app works. I think I can do this in 5 minutes. So I've taken and put the payment overlay here for pay in place. I'm just going to remove all of this. And I'm actually on the past pending orders page. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight all this. I just deleted everything. Okay, so now I'm going to go over to our elements and I'm going to scroll down to the installed elements. These are plugins that we've installed. And the only plugin I installed is Stripe. And Stripe has a variety of options that you can turn on. There's a payment, simple payment, there's an ACH payment, there's a subscription type, and then there's what's called Stripe Connect. So I'm going to go ahead and move the Stripe Connect over. And the Stripe Connect opens the section up here that says, connect with Stripe. So what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to click on connect with Stripe to literally connect the Stripe application. Now that's going to require that you log in to your Stripe account and that you do a two-factor authentication validation to allow you to log in. In Stripe, there will be a Stripe Connect option under Developer API. I'm going to recommend that you go to the, just go to YouTube and do a Stripe Connect. Just search for a video on how to install Stripe Connect. Basically, Stripe makes you go through an application process because the Stripe Connect functionality is different from the simple Stripe payment or the simple Stripe subscription option, or even the ACH. The Stripe Connect allows you to create a list of vendors that can purchase, that can sell things through your marketplace. But each vendor has to have a Stripe vendor ID. And so what you're going to have to do is when you put I'm just going to go ahead and take this off. I'm going to go ahead and put, again, from the elements, I'm going to put the Stripe payment in here. Okay, now, when you have the Stripe payment in, there are a couple of things that you need to do. First of all, you need to tell Stripe what your payment amount is going to be. And so there's a couple of different ways you can do this. If you have a order total paid amount, you can just put in the order total paid amount. Now, notice there's a 0 in front. I need to remove that 0. Now we just have this order total paid amount. Or you can go ahead and put in a calculated amount. So order subtotal plus order sales tax plus order shipping rate, ship option rate. Either one of those should work. You're going to want to play around with it, either one of them, and make sure that you're actually getting the right value passed to the cart payment. So you put that in the payment field so that you get the correct amount of the payment. Then you're going to put in a description. And so your description might be the current order name, which has already been passed. The email field would be typically the logged in user email. And then the marketplace field is going to be where you put in the connected account ID number. So this is going to be the current order vendor, and then there's going to have to be a value for the order vendor ID number, Stripe ID number. Okay, we don't have one of those created. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go over and I'm going to put in under vendors, I'm going to put in a Stripe ID. So we don't have a Stripe ID field. So I'm going to go ahead and add a property. I'm going to add a number property because it's a number. And I'm going to put vendor Stripe ID. Stripe account, basically we'll call it an account ID. All right, and we're going to put that in. Now, that's a number that the vendor can get from their Stripe account. And so what you can do, now that we've had that added to the vendor field, we can now allow the vendor to edit their own. Now, either you can do this running the account. Let me come over here and come down. And so there's an edit profile screen that the vendor can get to. We're not going to worry about showing you how to get there, but the vendor can. So we're now going to go to the edit profile screen. We're going to go to the list of fields. We removed a field of some sort. We're going to go ahead and add back the, let's see, this is a user field. Oh, this is user field. I'm sorry, I'm in the wrong thing. I need to go to the edit vendor. So here we go. Here's the edit vendor profile. So here's the edit vendor profile. Now we're going to look at the fields, and we're going to come down here. We're going to add a visible field, the vendor Stripe ID field, and we'll just have the label say enter your Stripe ID. Okay, and we'll just. So now that's what the field says, and we can actually just leave that at the bottom. That's kind of like one of the last things that the vendor does. So now we can come over to the payment process, which is up here. And so we're going to zoom in. We're going to click on the Pay Now. And now we're going to come down here, and in the marketplace, we're going to enter the current order vendor Stripe ID. So that's going to automatically insert the vendor Stripe ID. Now, here you just simply insert the platform fee that you're going to charge. So let's say you're going to charge 10%. You just put in 0.10, I believe is how it'll work. Now, you're going to want to test this to make sure it comes out the way that you expect, but 0.10, so that'll apply. Okay, so we're going to do platform fee. We actually need to 0.10 times. We actually need to do the calculation. So times the current order total paid. So whatever the order total paid is what you're going to want to do the 0.10. So now you're taking out 10% of the total paid amount, and Stripe will send that amount directly to you, and the other 90% will go to the vendor. Now, if you don't want to do it on sales tax and shipping, so what you do is you come in and you make it current order subtotal, which is the amount before the sales tax and the shipping. That way you're only taking 10% out. So we've gone a little bit over, but at this point, you now have a completed multi-vendor account, multi-vendor shopping cart, where you can sign vendors up. I think I might go ahead and do just a little bit more work on this on Monday, show you how to add, say, for example, search processes in your vendor list or in your product list, so that you can find the people that you want. So we might clean this up a little bit on Monday, but for now we've gone about 4 minutes over, and I'm going to go ahead and end the stream. And hopefully you've enjoyed seeing how this was built. And now you have enough knowledge to be able to take what I've shown you how to do and go ahead and just elaborate on it. There's a whole lot of videos out on YouTube about Adalo. I'm going to be doing more, so come back to learn more if you'd like. But I thought you'd enjoy seeing that. I'm actually offering a multi-vendor platform to people that would like to sell their products or services through the Apricot Rocket system. If by chance you're interested, go to apricotrocket.com, create an account, and then reach out to me and let me know that you'd like to be a vendor in our multi-vendor marketplace. And Be glad to have you be part of our network. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this, and